iHeartRadio app. 8 o'clock is when the pregame will begin, and then they'll head to Dallas to play the Mavericks on Wednesday night. I hope they don't get jammed up. Boy, if you have seen the map of what this country is supposed to look like weather-wise, I don't want to jinx it, but it looks like this part of the country is the only thing that's not going to be underwater or under snow or being tossed around by tornadoes. It's going to happen at some point here. We're going to get dumped on. But so far, they're talking about these. It's already happening now. With bureau chiefs in these states that we have, I'm sure can attest. But they got, tons of snow out in California in the mountains. And they said it's just this big system that's moving eastward out of Colorado. But if you watch these maps, it's going to be blowing snow up through the upper Midwest. It's like the Dakotas, Wyoming, Colorado, right? And then farther south, it's going to be tornadoes and rain. So down in the south, like south central part of the country, they're looking at tornadoes. Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, all the way to Springfield, Missouri, down to Houston, down to New Orleans. But as far as this week goes, if you're looking at like eastern Indiana, northern Ohio, western Pennsylvania, we're just kicking it. So something's going to, things can change all the time, and something will eventually, get to us here. I know the east side had some considerable snow. I live on the west side. I've seen a couple of flakes so far. I haven't seen, we haven't gotten dumped on yet. Like Buffalo. Buffalo's probably still digging out. But if you look at the forecasts around the country for this week, Ohio's in okay shape for now. But I don't know what the Cavs are going to run into being in Texas. Maybe nothing. Maybe something. I don't know. Alan, you guys were talking about the butt plugs at the CVS. That is not. People were telling me.
They're called cashiers.
People are telling me that that's not that rare. They made the clip I played for is they made a big deal about it over on Fox News. The one of their producers had walked into a CVS in Manhattan and found a butt plug. Mike says they sell them right at eye height by the pharmacy at the Walmart in Mayfield. So there you go.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
If you're looking for them. Well, listen,
if women can have massagers.
I've been in a Walgreens pharmacy recently. Got my COVID booster and flu shot and all that stuff. And, they don't get right to you, so you're walking around looking at stuff. I didn't see any butt plugs.
Is it called, like, anal plug? Do they have, like...
The one that they were talking about Fox News is called Buzzy Butt.
Buzzy Butt.
Yeah. And then Tush Kush is the lube.
Tush Kush.
He's writing these down.
I just think it's funny that this stuff is going mainstream now. I'm like, come on, gays been with this the entire time. We used to have to go to
Well, it's not just a gay thing.
I understand that, but
don't forget that lady that was traveling with the ashes of her dead boyfriend in her butt plug.
That's right.
This is a way to show love eternal.
I understand that, but I feel like gays would be the only one that wouldn't be like shamed into buying something like that at like a convenience store.
I wouldn't feel shamed into buying it. I wouldn't be like, oh, if I don't buy one of these, I'm not
No, I'm not gonna. They're gonna make fun of me.
Yeah.
As open as I am, I do find it a bit awkward buying condoms. Like, it's not that I'm embarrassed, but I'm just putting that on there, and that's the only thing you get. Like, you don't get no gum, you don't get anything else, but just having like condoms.
Yeah, I never understood that. I was never embarrassed. You're telling the cashier that you're getting laid, and if she's a cute cashier and you're not that cute, like I wasn't that cute, she's like, ooh, somebody's taking a chance on him. Yeah, somebody's letting this
better
dude
them
get
than
on
me.
top of him.
I didn't say it was embarrassing. It's just like awkward. It's just, I don't know.
Why didn't you pad your order?
Huh?
Why didn't you pad your order if you felt weird about it, rather than just throw a box of condoms up there?
I've never...
You go get like a thing of Doritos or,
In my adult life, like maybe when I was 16, 17, I bought condoms when I had no reason to buy condoms. Like, you just want to be naughty. I was like, is there an age limit on condoms? Like, do you have to buy, you have to wait till you're 18 to buy them? So we just wanted to see if we could buy them, and we bought them at a gas station. So it was like the cheap brand or whatever. But in my adult life, I've never had to, because when I got to college, all my condoms were free. So everyone bought. I mean, they may be the cheap condoms, but I'm not worried about getting anybody pregnant.
Yeah, listen, I've probably bought my last box after however many years of purchasing them. You know, once I give off my... I mean, how many come in a box?
All of them?
12?
Oh.
Tell me.
How many brands come in a box? I was like, all of them?
No, how many come in a box?
I think there's
All of them, he
there's
says.
3
So
or
dumb.
12.
12.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe I'll do something fun over the weekend. Maybe I'll buy some condoms.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh.
Get that Durex Gold box.
Are you
Those the
coming
ones I
Friday?
buy.
Are you coming to my show Friday?
I'm gonna try and make it. Yeah.
Okay,
I
just
don't-
let me know. I mean, I'll
Will
take
you
care
bring
of
him
you.
out?
Yeah, I would bring him up on stage.
Well,
That's always fun.
I'll let you know. I'll see if I.
Will you treat him like Elon Musk at Chappelle's show?
Everybody, please welcome Poundcake.
Boo!
That's fine.
And it's just his mom.
They like my body. No, she's not gonna come up to Cleveland. Are you nuts?
Are you saying boo or boo-earns?
She would for me.
I was saying boo-earns.
You don't think that your mom would come to Bill Squire's Chris McQuanzica? You're out your mind.
She's like,
Of course she would.
She said she'll be like, I'll save my Cleveland trip for the Corona cruise. Like that. That's literally, unless she's getting something out of it.
Well, I'm glad she didn't
Well,
do
she'll
that
be
this year.
Saving it for a while.
Yeah, she's going to be taking them back roads.
I took her like downtown to the flats, and it was like the worst impression on like of Cleveland on her.
When was this?
Years ago,
Oh.
years and years.
Probably the last Corona cruise, right?
No, because it wasn't.
It was before they built up the flats?
No, it was 2019, 2018, something
Oh.
like that.
Mhm.
I think I just took her to dinner, and we went to Coastal Taco when Coastal Taco was a thing, and it just so happened at that time someone jumped in the lake or jumped in the river. And my mom saw, she's like, there's a man swimming in there. I was like, oh, yeah, they always do that. She's like, but there's a boat coming. I was like, wait, what?
Was the man swimming in the river me?
No, did Bill fall out of a
After I
kayak
fall
or
out of a
something?
kayak?
Yeah.
No.
That guy's eye stopped working.
No, this dude was just like backstroking, like swimming, just kicking it.
Ew.
Stroking to the left and stroking to the right.
And then like one of the big rigs started coming, and you just hear, and mom was like, "Oh my God, he's gonna get runned over."
Runned over. Oh, boy. Your mom.
So the whole restaurant just like stands up.
Your mom passed her anxiety along to you, didn't she?
She sure
She's
did.
terrified of everything, which I still can't get my head around. There's such cognitive dissonance for me with respect to the fact that your mom does an incredibly complex and difficult job in being a nurse, but she's terrified by everything else in real
It's
life.
control. It's control.
What's
It's
control? Then take control of your life.
I'm
Use the highways. Go to the flats.
No,
What
I'm-
control?
No, I'm saying she is probably control over me. Like she's like, "Aren't you afraid?" I'm like, "No." She's like,
No,
"You
I
should be."
take you out of the equation. I mean, just her. She's a nurse, but you take her out of the hospital.
She lives like 5 minutes from home.
What
Like,
does that have to do with anything? If she's gets scared that there's a guy swimming in the Cuyahoga River, he should be scared, not your mom.
And she was like, "Oh my God!" Like she was like clapping. She's like, "Oh my God! I can't believe this! I can't believe this!"
Actually, it's a
And-
great, in a way, that's a great way for her to be because it takes so little for her to be impressed that you can, because there's 0% offensive about the flats. So you could take her down there any time and she would just be like mind blown all the time. She's a cheap date.
very cheap.
Yeah.
The one time, okay, I guess I did invite my. Okay, so sometimes she comes down when I'm taking her to dinner, and like she gets impressed with like the silverware that certain restaurants use, or like the
I love your mom. She's
the,
so
the,
cute.
the jugs of water that they bring out. And she's like, "Oh, that's a fancy jug." I'm like, "Mom, it's literally a glass jug that has water in it." She's like, "But I like it." She's like, "I'm gonna ask the waitress if I can have it." I'm like, "Mom, don't ask
If I can have it. Not, hey,
have
where
your
did you guys
picture?
buy
Yeah.
these in bulk, I might add. Hey, can I have
She
that
will-
one?
And she will, and she did. They let her keep it.
I was going to say, your mom's got the secret sauce because if you had the balls to ask, I bet they would let you keep it.
Yep, she let her keep
Nice
it.
old lady. She's like, can I keep that flask?
I just find it funny that this woman had
Pitcher.
to go all the way to the back, and she was like, "There's some lady out front that wants the water jug." And Courtney, just give it to her. Give it to her. Just go. Make sure she tips.
Yeah. Well, I just sat in 8-top. Get over there. Yeah, give the lady the pitcher. Your mom's pretty smart. She's crazy like a fox. She gets in there and asks them.
She did. She sure did ask. I was like, Mom, don't ask her. She's like, no, I'm about to ask.
Then you're walking around the flats with a glass pitcher.
I was just. She gives everything to me, so it's like we just went shopping at Macy's or like Sex in the City.
You guys look like you went shopping, but you're in the flats.
Yep.
Oh boy.
She's like, if you're nice enough, they'll just give it to you. You just ask. I'm like, no, if you're nice enough.
Well, all they can say is no. You never strike out if you ask.
My mom's a nice little black lady. No one's gonna tell her no.
A nice little black lady. Yeah, nobody ever tells black women no.
Right. Yeah, they're always doing reports about how they have the easiest time.
100% success rate. Well, your mom's very sweet. But I am constantly amazed by, I guess, her amazement at things. But didn't you do that when you were having dinner with Erica? Didn't she give you a hard time for being all wide-eyed with whatever the dinner was? You didn't know where your napkin was, or what was that story? It was years ago.
I did. It was foie gras.
Foie gras.
Foie gras.
Foie gras.
He can say that because he's gay.
Foie gras.
Foie gras.
There you go.
Yeah, that was at Parker's, I think, and we were there.
Right around the corner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And we were there having a steak, and they were like, "Would you like the foie gras on your steak?" And I was like, "What's that?" And she's like, "He'll get it." Like, I was like, "Wait, I want to know what number." She's like, "He'll get it. He'll get it." And then I tried it, and she was like, "Don't you?" She was like, "Try it." I was like, "I don't know. I don't know if I like it." She's like, "Try it. It's a delicacy." I'm like, "All right." I tried it. I was like, she's like, "Isn't it great? Isn't it amazing?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's all right." She's like, "Oh, whatever." Like, she was mad. I was like, I don't need fancy food. Fancy food's nice, but if I can't pronounce it, I don't know if I want to eat it.
And you just like a nice smooth steak. That's what he's into.
Rolls on down my throat.
Yeah, he does like a smooth steak. You know, there's too many fissures in this steak. There's too many cracks. This looks like a cow.
Smooth it out. Bring it back.
Like a cow that really had a difficult time.
How would you like your steak prepared, sir? Smooth.
Aaron from Chicago. Can I be a bureau chief? I just got dumped after a 7-year relationship, and I wanted to say thanks for being there for me during this time. I've been listening for over a decade. He's up there in River North in downtown Chicago. All right, Aaron, I'll mark you down.
Sorry about your breakup, man.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. Right
7
before
years.
Christmas. You didn't get a present.
Oh, that's by design.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I've been thinking a lot about the calendar and our relationship, and I don't think it's
Calendars,
working out.
when a lease is up, like those are the things that if you're just in a relationship and not completely like you're not married yet,
You guys got to
that's
move
definitely
too.
like a huge factor. And it's like, oh, our lease is about to be up. I think we gotta. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
What's better? Would you rather have sex right before you've been broken up with, or have sex right after you've been broken up with?
Like a severance pop?
Yeah, like I think it would be better. Like, you breaking up with me, I know you're breaking up with me, so you get what you need, I get what I need. At least I know my game in the bedroom was not the reason why we broke up.
The tough thing for me on a couple of occasions, because you move around so much in this business, is having sex with someone for the last time because you're moving. So it's this weird mix of just like, you're not upset with each other, but you're breaking up because I'm moving.
Because it makes sense. Because the long distance thing is.
Oh, I'm not doing that. No. It wasn't even on the table. You're going to get on with your life. I'm going to get on with mine. But you have sex one last time, and it's like it's perfunctory. I don't know. But the severance pop is very, very underrated.
Yeah, I'm all about the after. Because listen, I'm gonna get both.
Well, because sometimes
I'm gonna
they're
get
like,
the one before we break up. I'm gonna get the one after we break up.
Sometimes people are like, no, let's call it a day.
I've always had a severance. I feel like.
Huh? I haven't always had that.
The ones
Let me think.
The ones
Yeah.
before you break up doesn't have the same vigor. Like, you just feel like something's wrong.
Vigor.
It is. You feel like something's wrong. You're
Just
like,
a funny word.
it's for real. You don't do it the same thing. You're like, okay, you're not arching your back right. Like,
You mean if you know you're going to break up, or it just happens to be the last time you had sex before you got dumped?
I feel like the person who knows they're going to break up with you is
Oh, well,
not
of
going to
course.
perform the
No,
same way.
of course.
Right.
But afterwards,
They just want to
they're
get
like-
out.
Yeah, but afterwards,
And sometimes that's you, and sometimes it's them.
Yeah, no, because there's been a couple times I'm like, oh, I don't want to have sex with this person because if it's really good, they're gonna be like, addicted. If it's really bad, then they're going to be like, well, there's no law. So I'm like, I'm just not going to. The last time we had sex was the last time we had sex. We're not having sex anymore. And because I'm about to break up with you.
Huh.
I'm afraid to do that because then they'll be like, you just gave me all this good loving and now you going to leave? Dead. Like, I don't know. I get afraid.
Are you implying that someone will kill you because they aren't allowed to have sex with you anymore?
Maybe.
No, maybe. Yes, that's what you're saying. I'm worried that I'll be killed when I tell someone I'm not having sex with them anymore.
Baby, I need your loving. Nope, I'm sorry. I got to spread it around.
And then they'll go, okay,
No.
there's billions of people in the world. I'm sure I'll find someone in my immediate vicinity. If only there were an app to help me do that.
Now, what you don't want is just like, okay, bye. Like, that. I'm like, what you mean? Wait a minute. What do you mean, bye?
Yes, bye.
Okay, bye? That's rude.
Yeah. I was in my 20s before I got to break up with someone.
But it doesn't feel good to break up with someone.
Well, it doesn't feel good to get dumped either.
I think
And that was 100% of my record up till then was getting dumped.
I think I'd rather get dumped because I know I can take it. I don't know how the other person's going to react, and I don't like hurting people's feelings when it comes down to it.
And you have different concerns because despite the stereotype, guys don't seem to take breakups very well
That's
at all.
what I'm talking about.
Always the guys who come out. I had to find her at work and kill her because she broke up with me after 3 months.
And I date men with money.
So all these guys talking about how like women are crying when a break. It's always the guys who are pissing and moaning over a breakup.
Yeah, I got men with money and connections and big houses where people don't go in that much. Like, I'm like, oh, they could totally put me in like a backyard somewhere. And
What is this world he's living in, Bill?
It's the Poundcake world, and it's a different existence than any other person has ever experienced.
Yeah, it is an alternate plane of existence that can simultaneously thrill you and repel you if you really put too much thought into it, I guess.
I've still never really been broken up with.
Well,
I've
you're
pretty
lucky.
much ended everything.
Sucks.
But I feel like there's definitely some that were like going in a different direction because they didn't want to be the one that ended it. Like they were pulling back and like they're like,
Just so they get broken up with?
yeah, they didn't want to be the bad guy.
Oh.
They don't want to be. Oh, so they make it so awful that you
There's no
just.
way he can stay.
Yep.
Yeah, there's nothing left. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Hey, listen, the Lord giveth, if you
Lord?
believe in that. The Lord giveth and the Lord take it away. And, boy, it was only days after his honorary doctorate at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago was rescinded that Kanye West wins Anti-Semite of the Year. I don't know which organization gives these awards out. There's a watchdog group. You'll see more and more of these now that hating Jewish people seems to be back in vogue. A group called Stop Anti-Semitism has awarded Kanye West the dubious honor of Anti-Semite of the Year. I mean, given that there's so much competition in this country, by the way, it's pretty impressive. There's a lot. You're up against Bannon, Trump, Kyrie, Peter Brimlow, throw him in for good measure, Marjorie Taylor Greene. He was up against a lot of people to win Anti-Semite of the Year. I'm curious if there's any kind of dinner or if there's an award ceremony with respect to this. I mean, probably not. He did say he was going to go Death Con 3 on Jewish people. So, again. And he loves Hitler. I mean, when Alex Jones is trying to pull you back from the brink, we played that last week.
He didn't say he loves Hitler. He said he just can't forget all of his accomplishments other than the Holocaust.
He said, I like Jewish people, but I also like Hitler. So anyway, Anti-Semite of the Year, there's no shortage of competition for that. And I think everybody would have been blown away had Kanye not. I don't know what the voting process is. I don't know if you can nominate yourself. I don't know anything about it. But, life is balance. One day they're taking away your honorary doctorate. The next day they're bestowing this honor on you, too. So something to think about. For you aspiring anti-Semites, who might have never considered being in Kanye's company before. Things can change. I got a break. You want to get the last word in? Send me a text, 351